welcome to Chalk Talk at Carlo's Pizza, presented by Max Sports Consulting. We're talking high school football here in our podcast, and glad you could join us here, our third edition of this show. We've got a couple of special guests tonight. Both Forest Hills Northern and East Kentwood will be joining the show and talking with coaches and players about their programs here. And we're coming to you as we record this from Carlo's Pizza at 3150 Plainfield Avenue Northwest, Plainfield and I-96. Now remember, if you saw last week's show, you heard me talking about how good the pizza was. And it was good. But last week, for the first time, I tried Carlo's Pizza subs. And let me tell you, I had the best ham and cheese sub that I have had in years. And I mean that literally years. If you have not been to Carlo's Pizza on Plainfield, you need to check it out. New ownership. They've got a great lunch buffet thing going now, but you get takeout, come in at the dining area, eat here, get it to go. You can get it delivered. DoorDash, Facebook and Instagram has the postings. Carlo's Pizza's on Plainfield. That's the place. That's our wonderful host. And they're going to feed us tonight here too as well. So we're going to start out talking with Forest Hills Northern. Coach Eddie Ostipow joins us right now. Coach Ostipow, good to join us right now. Coach, we were just talking a little before the show. Not able to practice just yet. Kind of run down the schedule for when you can practice and what the limits are as far as pads and such.
Yeah, we're in our down week, which, you can have contact with the kids this week, weight room and that kind of stuff, but there's no camps or 7-on-7s and that kind of stuff. So the way that we do it, we just give kids the week off because, I've always been of kind of the mindset that I want the first day, the first week to be exciting for the kids. And so it's good for them to get away one last time because, once we start, there's very little window for downtime.
What about contact during the summer? What were you able to do this summer?
We get 15 days to work with our team, which we've used, and then of those 15, I think you get 7-on-7 dates, and we didn't do all 7. I think we did maybe 3 or 4. We work with other coaches and do other things throughout the summer, which has been beneficial, and hopefully, it helps us take a step forward.
Eddie, you've been a veteran coach in the area for a number of years. Tell us how or if your approach has changed to the summer as maybe it was 10 years ago or so. Have you changed it?
Yeah, I think it always changes depending on the kids and what your clientele are able to do, and it also depends on the rules that change over time as well. So we go 3 days a week in the summer in the mornings. We want the kids to work hard. We preach work ethic and commitment, but we also want them to be kids and to have a summer. I've always felt like football is you get way more out of the kids when you don't grind them into the ground in the summertime and then all of a sudden you want to start practice with them. So we try to balance the hard work and commitment with a lot of time for kids to have time to go be kids in the summer.
Last year you were 4-5 overall, 2-3 in the rugged OK Gold, and sometimes the word rugged just isn't strong enough.
It's a gauntlet. It is. We lost a couple games last year that we think we should have gotten, but the competition in our conference with the Lakeshore schools, with Muskegon and Mona Shores, and then Byron Center, who made it to the finals this past year, have a great program, and even our non-league, we got Central and Forest Hills Central, Northview, both very strong programs. So we certainly have our work cut out for us.
We had Northview on last week. They were one of these interesting stories around the whole West Michigan area last year. And you took them right down to the wire. You're talking about, a play here or there, right?
Yeah, I think, they were a good team. They were undefeated in the regular season. I felt like, we let a few plays get away from us, but, that was a really hard-fought game. And, even though we didn't win, I felt like, we'd missed a 2-point conversion at the end to put it into overtime. And but our kids, played their hearts out. And, if we can get that kind of effort, and clean up some of the mistakes, I think we'll be a good team.
Was that at their place or?
No, it was at Northern.
It was at Northern. Mm-hmm. Okay, so you go.
We got to go there this year.
You got to go there this year, and that's certainly an exciting tournament. Now, you've been around enough to appreciate, even though they're the competition, to appreciate and respect what Coach Oshnock did with that program, turning that around. Because that was a dormant program for a long time.
Oh, he's a great coach. He's won pretty much everywhere he's been, and I've known Ryan for a lot of years, and obviously a healthy rivalry, but great respect for him and what his staff has been able to do over there.
You start out in your non-conference opener with Kentwood Hills, who we had on the show a couple weeks ago as well, and Coach Fellows has turned that program.
Yeah, they're going to be a good team. We played Didn't play a great first half last year against them, and were able to come back in the second half and win. But they were very young in his first year there, so I expect that they'll be probably one of the surprise teams this year in Grand Rapids.
You'll only have three practices with full pads before your scrimmage. That's not a lot of time to get everything set. How do you do that?
No, I mean, I think you're just trying to, in the scrimmage, you're trying to survive. I think you're trying to get the kids some contact, trying to get them acclimated to what they're going to see on Friday nights, but you're also trying to balance that with keeping kids healthy and being able to work on a few things. I always kind of look at scrimmages as an opportunity to build some depth. Some of our younger kids or more inexperienced kids, we try to give them a little bit more time so that they can see what, at the end of the day, we don't know, everybody's one play away from being a starter, so you got to make sure that your young kids and your backup kids are ready to go.
Group position-wise, what would you say going in you think is going to be your biggest strength of this team, and maybe one area that you've got big questions about still?
Well, our offensive line is our strength. I mean, we've got 4 of our 5 starters are back from last year. Many of them have played 3, and you're going to talk to Eli McCulley here in a minute, and he's been a 4-year starter. So we certainly have a lot of experience and a lot of size up front. In terms of some question marks, we lost a lot of seniors on defense last year. Ike DeHaan, Ferris commit, he's going to Ferris. Cooper Clark, who was an all-state kid for us, he's going to Hope College. So we lost some key guys on the defensive side of the ball, so we've got to make sure that our new guys stepping in are ready to go.
How do you measure success in 2025? Is it a number of wins, or is it just how they play overall?
Well, we have a camping trip every year. We take our kids on. We just got back Saturday, and one of the things that we talked about was every high school team in the state, their goal is to win a state championship, and I try to keep our kids, from being distracted by that, because I want us to reach the potential that we have as a team, whatever that might be. I think we have a chance to be a playoff team and a conference contender. So that's where our focus is at right now, and then we'll see what happens once the playoffs start.
Eddie, thanks for joining us. Coach Eddie, Ostipow Forces Northern. Why don't we stop and visit with your folks, your
Absolutely.
players?
Yeah, thank you.
Always
Thanks
a pleasure.
Me, Yep, absolutely.
All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back with more of the Carlo's Pizza Chalk Talk presented by Max Sports Consulting. We roll on with Chalk Talk at Carlo's Pizza presented by Max Sports Consulting. And speaking of which, I've got a very important question for you. You parents out there, do you need help understanding the recruiting process? It is absolutely confusing to almost anybody. Well, Max Sports Consulting understands just how confusing the whole process can be if your son's trying to navigate the football recruiting and even the transfer portal for those that are already in college. Now, whether you're a high school or college student, Max Sports Consulting can evaluate your talent and help secure opportunities to get you to the next level. Go to maxsportsconsulting.com to see how their team of highly knowledgeable and experienced collegiate sports experts can help you gain access to valuable resources and plan a strategy. Visit Mac Sports Consulting, that's MAC sportsconsulting.com, and you will help your youngster navigate that confusing process. We're talking high school football with the Forest Hills Northern Huskies to start. We've got the East Kentwood Falcons coming up a little later on in the show. But right now, we're being joined by a couple of players. Lineman Eli McCauley and quarterback Owen Ostipow join us right now. Start with Eli to my left, 4-year starter as an offensive lineman. Boy, you mean you started as a freshman, Eli.
Yes, sir.
Let's go way back to your freshman year, your first varsity football game as a freshman. What do you remember about that, stepping on that field for your first varsity game as a true freshman?
Well, when I was a freshman, we had 2 really great senior linemen who it was definitely easy to be under them. They were great leading me onto the field. I always remember that first snap, though. It definitely wasn't easy. I was shaking in my boots to snap that ball. But
what did those upperclassmen show you, Eli? Was it more technique-wise what to do, or was it more how they carried themselves in general around the practice field and such?
Yeah, I think the most important from them was how they carried themselves on the field, off the field. I wouldn't have been able to make it as a freshman without those guys. Before the game, they both came up to me and said, "Hey, you're here for a reason. We know you're here for a reason, and you just got to calm down and do your thing. We know you're that player." So,
Eli, you were all conference, all region, all state, great honors. You got a lot of recruiting opportunities going on right now. We were just talking about that with Max Sports Consulting on the confusing.
Oh, yeah.
It is confusing, the process.
Yeah.
Tell us about the process, and is it a positive, or is it kind of becoming a pain having to deal with all of it?
Well, it's definitely becoming more of a rarity for high schoolers to go to a bigger school. The transfer portal's not doing good for high school players. So the
Agreed.
recruiting and the portal right now is just unbelievable. So high schoolers going to college is unbelievably, it's harder right now. The transfer portal is just taken over. So guys who are making it to those big time schools are legit, and there's a smaller percentage of those guys going there. So
Without getting into the specifics of schools, tell us in general, what are the things you think you're going to need to see before you eventually make that decision of where you're going to go to college?
Well, right now I think I'm just waiting to find a place that feels like home, where I want to be, and a place that wants me to be there. So that's kind of what I'm waiting on and waiting to see. I got a couple of visits set up in September, and I plan on committing at that point in time. So.
Do you know what you're going to take academically yet in school?
I'm not 100% yet, but I'm between medicine or finance right now.
Oh, great. Opportunities there for you as well. Well, let's talk about this team. Certainly, we talked with Coach how tough the OK Gold is. It is just as he said, a gauntlet. Mm-hmm. So you got to be ready every night.
Oh yeah, yep. So there's no week off with our schedule really. Every game we really have to treat like a playoff game. Every game is a win or lose. They're all going to be added into our making playoffs or not. So starts in week 1. We don't have a schedule that we can start getting good in the middle of the season. We have to be at our best week 1. So that's one challenge that other teams don't have that we have. And I think we're doing a good job at pushing through that, and I think it helps us thrive through that. So,
Eli, you said they all count one, and they do, but there's one on that schedule that's pretty close to your building that is. I think it means a little bit more to you guys, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, yep. Year
in, year out. It starts with Rangers, right?
Rangers, yeah.
Tell us about that game and that rivalry.
Well, it's a rivalry from our standpoint. I think it is from their standpoint as well. At this given time, we haven't beat them in a long time. I think we had a very good game against them last year. It was
right down to the wire, 3-point game, right?
Yep.
17-14.
Yeah, I think it was the closest game I've played in against them. And it's a close game that Northern's been in with them. So we hope to keep that train rolling and hope to really push back that wall that Northern hasn't gotten past in a long time. And I think this year's the year. So. All
right, before you pass the mic over to Owen, I want you to tell us a little bit about Owen and what he means to this team.
Yeah, well, Owen is the son of our head coach, Eddie Ostipow, and he was an absolute rock star for us last year at the quarterback position. He can run the ball, he can throw the ball, and it's not easy to stop both of those. So when you have 4 returning offensive linemen like we do, it's going to be pretty hard to stop him running, and maybe if you do, he'll pass it over your head. So.
All right, well, let's pass the mic over to Owen. We'll remind you we're at Carlo's Pizza, 3150 Plainfield Northwest, locally owned and operated. Catering and dining space rentals available. You can rent out this great area right here for a private party. They've got it all kinds of food and all-you-can-eat pizza and salad lunch buffet, hand-tossed pizza, homemade subs, and wings daily here at Carlo's Pizza, 3150 Plainfield Avenue Northeast, right at Plainfield I-96, right off the exit. I mean, you are, talk about easy off, easy on, you are right at 96 here when you get off at Plainfield. Our next guest, quarterback Owen Ostipow, Jr., 2-year starter, sophomore and junior year as a starter. Let's talk a little bit about that first, Owen. What do you think you made the biggest stride in from your sophomore year to your junior year?
Definitely just like leadership in general. Last year I didn't really take a big role in the team, which I kind of regretted doing. This year I'm ready to take a big role. I'm going for captain this year. I'm ready to lead the team and make a bigger impact on the people around me and the players.
What did you do in the off-season to work on your individual skills and improvement, Owen?
Well, me and my dad, we throw almost every day. Teach me how to the fundamentals and the offensive schemes and defensive schemes as well, to how to identify them. And then also been working out, trying to get bigger. So.
Well, you rushed for almost 900 yards. You take a lot of hits, a lot of design quarterback runs, right?
Yeah, for sure. Our offense is definitely offense and running back based. Like to show both guys some love. So
You don't mind
run
having
game.
this guy out in front of you, do you?
No, it's great. It's great.
Just look for him, right, and get
Yeah.
behind him. That's the best strategy you could possibly have as well. Let's talk about your assessment overall of last year, Owen, how you looked at last season and how that maybe carries over to this year.
I definitely there's some teams on our schedule I want to beat, for sure. Week 1 especially, I want to beat those guys again. And then week 3 against Central is another game I really want to win. So there's some games we lost last year we shouldn't have, and I want those back.
Yeah, you lost 2 games by 3 points or less, you know, and that certainly is a big difference. And that's the difference there, right there, between making the playoffs and not making the playoffs. What do you have to do to get over that one little edge? Maybe it's just one play here or there. What do you got to do?
I think we just got to keep playing together and do our jobs. If everybody does our jobs, easy ball games. So
You're just a junior, so you're not really in the recruiting process probably yet, but what are you thinking about doing with your life in college and academically? Are you thinking about what you might like to take wherever you do end up going?
I haven't really figured out what I want to take yet, but I definitely want to play football in college somewhere, wherever I end up. So,
who's your best friend on the team right now? You're probably going to tell this big guy next to you because he's so big.
Eli's definitely one of them for sure.
Is he? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, well, good. All right, finish this sentence for me, Eli. The 2025 season, leave that on there just a second. The 2025 season will be a success if you fill it. You lean over and fill it, and then I'm going to have you do it.
I think it's going to be a success if Northern just replaces that pride in the school, and if we have the town on our back this year, I think that's going to be a success to me.
Oh, and you complete that same sentence. It'll be a success if
we all do our jobs and play how we're supposed to.
All right.
And picking back off what Eli said, get the school behind us in the town.
All right, that's great. All right, certainly enjoyed visiting with Eli McCauley and Owen Ostipow here from Forest Hills Northern. We're going to take a little time out, come back and talk with the East Kentwood Falcons. Stay with us here. Chalk Talk at Carlo's Pizza continues, presented by our good friends at Mac Sports Consulting. We continue with Chalk Talk at Carlo's Pizza, presented by Mac Sports Consulting. Enjoyed visiting with Forest Hills Northern, and we're going to be talking with East Kentwood in a little bit here, but we want to remind you our wonderful hosts here of this podcast, Carlo's Pizza, 3150 Plainfield Avenue Northeast. Special guest joins us right now, Raina Baker is co-owner of Carlo's Pizza. Thanks for joining us, Raina. Tell us a little bit about Carlo's and what makes it a special place.
Well, thanks for having us. It's a special place because we have brick ovens, we have the best pizza in town, and we love everyone to come and join us here. We have specialty pizzas. We have our summer specials, our summer barbecue pizza. We have specials like jalapeno popper pizzas. We have all different varieties of pizzas and subs and wings, salads, pastas, you name it, we have it.
You've got a nice dining area here. I don't think you had this before when the previous owners, did they?
No, we did not. We actually offer catering. We actually dining rental here. Yeah, we offer those things, and we would if you can't come here and rent a dining facility, we'd be more than happy to come out and do your catering wherever you are. 3150
Plainfield, right at the I-96 exit here, Carlo's Pizza. And you have a lunch buffet that you've just started, and what are you hearing from people that are experiencing that so far?
A lot of people are loving our lunch buffet. We offer a variety of pizzas on our lunch buffet. We kind of spin those out, and we kind of make sure that we have different varieties available for everyone each day that we are open. We have a lunch buffet from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. And we have the salad bar, and that's unlimited pizza, unlimited salad bar, and we also provide a drink with that.
You had me at unlimited. Sorry. No, but it's great stuff, and it's a great opportunity here as well. Again, now Carlos has been here for a while, but the new owners are taking in, so you're getting to know the community, the northern community. How are you reaching out to getting to know people in the north end of town now?
Well, definitely the community has truly embraced us since we became new owners, and we actually go and reach out to the community. We do fundraisers. We actually support them in various ways. The community is very important to us. We actually value that, so we actually go out and do flyers and get percentages off, off, 10% off to some of our customers. So yeah, we actually reach out as much as we can, and we provide what we can to the community as much as we can.
Raina Baker, thanks for stopping in and joining us. Tell us a little bit more about Carlo's.
Carlo's Pizza, it's on 3150 Plainfield Avenue Northeast in Grand Rapids. Definitely come out and visit us. We'd be more than happy to serve you. We have dine-in, takeout, we have carry-out, and we have delivery, and we have DoorDash available as well.
What she said.
Yeah.
We'll come back and talk with East Kentwood. Stay with us.
Thank you.
It's Chalk Talk at Carlo's Pizza, presented by Max Sports Consulting. Don't forget, Max Sports Consulting can answer your questions about recruiting process if you have a high school player who's going through that process, or if you have a college player that's wondering about the transfer portal process. It's very confusing to a lot of folks, and if almost anybody, even people that are in it, are confused, well, Max Sports Consulting can help you answer those questions and help your young person navigate the waters of college football. We're talking high school football right now, though. Ty Spencer, the second-year head coach at East Kentwood High School right now, joins us right now. Coach, we were talking with Coach Ostipow and how you're not able to get out there on the field yet. You're probably itching to get the guys out there, aren't you?
Absolutely. Guys been working extremely hard this off season, and you only get a couple practices, but you're limited in what you can do, and so August 11th can't come fast enough.
What did you do this summer, and maybe how did it differ from your first? Because this you're your second year,
Yep.
but from your first summer to this summer,
Yeah.
what did you do maybe differently?
I think we did a couple more 7-on-7s than we did the first year, and then I think we changed our weight training and conditioning a little bit. So I thought that was pretty good for us. We got some new guys in there, which was good for our group.
Last year, 5-5 and 4-3 in the tough OK Red. Lost to Hudsonville in the first round of the playoffs. Took them right down to the wire, right?
Right, yeah.
That was a heck of a game.
It was a great game. Great learning lesson for our student athletes. And it was something to build on, too, going into the off season. And so guys have really taken that and really working really hard to not just be 4-3, but 5-2, 6-1, undefeated in the league.
Well, you've got Southfield and Byron Center in your first two non-conference games, and boy, those are pretty tough competition.
Real tough. Southfield will be extremely athletic. Not sure what they're doing at the quarterback position, but they always have a plethora of kids. And Byron Center, really tough football team. That we're excited to play week 2. It'll be our home opener.
Coach Spencer, you were a renowned coach on the east side of the state. What have you learned about the football on this side of the state and how it maybe differs from the east side?
Yeah, I think the coaches are extremely well prepared here. I think the teams are really tough and smart football players, and some of the better teams that we've played had really tough quarterbacks that are not scared to run the ball, smart enough to throw the ball. But the way that the coaches in our league prepare, man, I thought was probably, top notch, best I've seen.
And I bet you're impressed with the community support when these schools you're going to here on that side.
Yeah, the community support is amazing. You go to some of these games around here, packed stadiums and
almost a college-like atmosphere.
That was part of the reason that drew me to this side of town as well.
What about you and your family now? You settled in on the west side. Are you adjusting to life as a family here on the west side?
Yeah, it's excellent. It's great being able to. We took advantage of going to the sand dunes up north this year, and
did you go to Silver Lake?
We went to Silver Lake. Yep. So that was awesome. We've been to Michigan Adventures and stuff like that. So just being able to enjoy this, man, is beautiful. Being close to Lake Michigan like that.
I'm going to ask you the same thing I asked Coach Eddie. Going into the year, give us a position area that you feel really good about this team, and give us another position area that you say we've got some question marks.
Yeah, I think a position area that I'm feeling really good about this year for us will be our defensive backs. Just because they were young last year, they were sophomores, some freshmen, but now they'll be juniors and sophomores with playing experience. So I feel really good about them. And I think a group that I have question marks is just our inside backers. Just because they played a little bit, but they weren't starters last year. So, that'll be something that, we want to get a look at early on in camp and put the best guys out there.
You mentioned some sophomores last year. Ty, what do you have to see in a player before you decide as a sophomore he's ready for varsity football?
Yeah. Honestly, that I don't look at it from a standpoint of I'm only playing juniors and seniors. I'm playing the best kids, period. So if that kid is not afraid to compete in front of some of the older guys, and he's going to step up and he has the courage and boldness to compete against a senior and dominate, then I feel like those guys will be able to compare. And we had those guys in Tyler Mewson last year at defensive line, Austin Nelson at corner. So those were some of the young guys that really stepped up and showed that they could compete versus some talented players in the OK Red.
When's your scrimmage and who are you scrimmaging against?
Our scrimmage will be Thursday against Detroit Catholic Central.
Okay.
Yep.
That's an old foe that you're familiar with?
Yeah, very familiar with them. Yeah.
What do you hope to get out of the scrimmage? Is that some guys want to get their top guys playing right away. Others want to spread it out and get some guys who may not. They have question marks. How do you approach the scrimmage?
I think for us, we want to really see what our depth is like. You kind of know the starters, the guys that were all conference. You know what they're going to be, but it's those other guys. It's the guys that you don't know about. Do we have something in some of those other young guys that we've been developing and playing? What are those guys going to give us? So for us, if we can build that depth, that's going to be really important in the scrimmage for us to see.
You're a Lions fan?
I am. Okay. Very much so.
You're probably sad to be. That's the one part about being on the west side. You're a little farther away from the Motor City.
But I've been a fan when we were losing. This feels great for me right now.
It's a great time to be a Lions fan, isn't it?
Yes.
All right, Coach. Before you leave, I want to have you say just a quick word on the two players we're going to visit with in our next segment. Start with James Jones, your defensive lineman, was all conference.
Oh yeah, James. Extremely physical, dominant defensive lineman in the league last year. He could play anywhere. We put him at the nose, make it hard for teams to run down the middle on us. I think he was one of the reasons why, teams had to try to throw on us because of him. He was just a matchup nightmare against offenses on the line. And he was clearly the first guy that they wanted to see in the OK Red as far as first team.
Probably tempting to try to play him on the offensive side a little bit too.
Right,
but how do you resist that temptation to keep him fresh?
We have enough on the O-line. I like that group. We have a lot of guys over there that are producing and doing well, so that kept us from not putting him there because you would definitely have to put a guy like that there. I mean, he's extremely strong. He's athletic. And he could definitely do that job.
And your other player you brought, Cade Kaufman, your quarterback.
Yeah, really just smart. A football player for us, very talented, can make all the throws, great leader, and we're going to really lean on him to lead this team this year.
Well, Coach Ty Spencer, thanks for stopping by here at Carlo's Pizza, and some of the guys are already diving into pizza. I think you want to get some before you get out of here.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Always a pleasure, Coach Spencer. Come back with some Kentwood players just a little bit here as we continue with Chalk Talk at Carlo's Pizza, presented by Mac Sports Consulting. Talk at Carlo's Pizza, presented by Mac Sports Consulting, our third show of these podcast series. Hope you're enjoying it. We're certainly enjoying bringing it to you from Carlo's Pizza, 3150 Plainfield Avenue Northeast. Dine-in, carry-out, and delivery available. Or call them at 616-364-4900. That's 364-4900. We're talking with the East Kentwood Falcons. Enjoy visiting with Coach Ty Spencer. Now some of his players. First, defensive lineman James Jones, all-conference, OK Red. James, let's talk a little bit about your summer. What did you do this summer specifically to try to get yourself in shape and become a better football player?
Yeah, so I'm actually coming off a knee injury, so it was slowly getting back into it, just doing little things outside of when we're, when we're conditioning and running as a team, like hill sprints, ladder work, position work, stuff like that.
How limited are you, James, when practice starts in a week or so? Are you going to be able to go, or are you going to have to go gradually here?
No, I'm full go.
Okay. What kind of strengthening exercises are you doing specifically for your knee?
So I was in physical therapy for about like 6 months. So just isolating the muscles that surround my knee, stuff like that.
That's an educational process, right? You learned a lot more about your leg than you ever thought you'd know.
Yeah.
That did as well. You were all conference last year in the OK Red, which is a terrific honor for anybody in any conference, but to do it in the tough, large OK Red is certainly an honor. What do you think is your biggest strength as a lineman? What do you do best, James?
I think I defend and run. I think that's what I do best.
What about pass rush? What do you got to do to get better at that?
I think reps, like just reps of working the moves that I like and studying offensive linemen, knowing what their weaknesses are that week and attacking it.
James, how did you assess last year's team? 5-5 overall, 4-3 in red, lost to Hudsonville in the first round of playoffs. Hudsonville had a fantastic season. How did you assess the Falcons' year last year?
I think it was good. I think we definitely have some things to clean up.
What one area do you think maybe you'll make the biggest improvement in as a team this year?
I feel like we were very young last year, so it was like the little things we didn't do very well. I think this year we're emphasizing that.
Coach mentioned some sophomores and juniors starting last year. You're one of the senior leaders now. How do you show your leadership? Are you a guy that talks a lot to the younger players, or do you use it more by example with you?
I don't really talk that much, but I do a little bit sometimes. But I feel like my actions on the field is where I lead the most.
James, you don't know where you're going to school next year yet, but wherever you end up going, are you thinking about what you might like to take in college and maybe do with it down the road?
I've been thinking, but I'm not too sure yet right now.
You got plenty of time for that, bud.
Yes, sir.
Best of luck to you this year and beyond.
Thank
Let's
you.
pass the mic over to Cade. Cade Kaufman, a senior quarterback. Also had an outstanding year last year. Cade, I wanted to ask you to assess your 2024 season, what you did really well and what you thought you need improvement on for this year.
Yeah, I think what I did really well was grow throughout week in and week out, keep getting better. Obviously, limiting the turnovers and making explosive plays still. I think the biggest thing we need to clean up is just being more consistent as a whole offense doing that. So that's the whole thing we're preaching on the offense side is consistency, and that starts with me.
Cade, you remember you mentioned limiting the turnovers. That's one of the hardest parts for quarterbacks at any level is the desire to keep a play alive, but not keeping it too long, knowing when to say abandon ship.
Exactly, and that's such a balance because you see guys making plays. You got to know the situation of the game and when you kind of need to make a play and just kind of being smart about taking calculated risks. And I think that's definitely a hard balance to strike.
Cade, what do you think was your best game last year and what's one game you'd love to have over?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of plays that you like to have over and I think more of it as plays and how you're operating. Obviously, you wish to have that Rockford game back. I mean, that whole offense, because we come in, we get a touchdown first drive, and we don't really do much after that. And we kind of fuse out. And then I think one game where I played really well was in our win versus Cal, week 3.
41-35 win, yeah.
Yeah, I think that first half, that was the kind of the coming out party. How we were operating and how explosive we could be, and then understanding now how we match that explosiveness with consistency through this year.
Cade, you've already committed to Michigan State for next year football. What was it about Jonathan Smith's program that stood out to you in making this decision?
Yeah, something I was going into the process about was finding great people at a great organization and how their culture matches with mine, and I found that there. Just my meeting in junior day, really seeing that hands-on and how much I was able to be up there, just really growing that relationship. It felt like a no-brainer when it came time to make that decision.
I've talked to different high school athletes through the years, and some of them really enjoy the recruiting process. Others say it really becomes kind of a pain as it goes on. Where was it for you? Was it enjoyable, or did it get a little bit of a grind?
Yeah, it was cool for the first like 10 minutes. And then your phone starts blowing up, and I'm not a big social media guy, and I have to deal with all that, and you got to deal with interviews and stuff, and then especially with coaches, they're all trying to build that relationship with you. So the longer this goes on through January was a big time. You have more coaches trying to call you every night, and you're basically dating like 10 different guys. It's a full commitment relationship that you're going through, and you have to manage that.
Cade, you're a 4.0 student at East Kentwood. Do you know what you're going to try to major in at school next year?
Yeah, so I'm actually like a 3.98.
Never mind.
Yeah,
take that all back. I thought he was a great student. Not a 4.0. 3.98 is all.
Yeah, so I'm subpar.
That was my grade point combined all 4 years if you added them up. But anyway, what are you thinking about doing?
Yeah, so I'm really interested in psychology or kinesiology. One of those studies. Wanting to just understand how the body works more in one of those fields. And there's a great academic staff at State that's going to make sure I'm ready and really interested in those before I go and major in.
Well, you can start practicing on James' knee.
Yeah.
You know,
I don't know if I'm that advanced.
James is not too wild about that.
I wouldn't be either.
All right, I want to ask you how you would measure success this year. Let's go back to the end of the season, whenever that lasts. How would you measure a successful year for the Falcons this season?
I think we measure success by how we grow, and that's kind of all we can control as a group. And you can't really control the ball bounces sometimes, so I think it's hard to put this in wins and losses. It's how you grow and how you operate as a unit, and knowing that we set the goals for ourselves to how we're going to operate as men, and then also on the football field. And if we reach those goals, I think we're going to have a pretty successful year in the win-loss column.
You two guys ready for some Carlo's pizza? Yeah, yes. They look like it. Yeah, they're ready to go. Hey, thanks so much, Cade and James, for stopping by, and Coach Ty Spencer, as well as our Forest Hills Northern guests, Eddie Ostipow and Owen Ostipow and Eli McCauley as well. We'll be back with another show next week, I'm told, so we'll continue to roll on with Chalk Talk at Carlo's Pizza, presented by Max Sports Consulting. Get ready for football. It's right around the corner.